Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about some NFL news. So, the big story today that the NFL world's talking about is the Arizona Cardinals. They've officially released star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. I never thought this would have been a possibility, as I was thinking, oh, somebody can get traded for him. They can get like a late round pick, like middle late round picks, something like that. But the Cardinals were really never able to get that. So they eventually decided, oh, we're just gonna release him. So people say, oh, he's washed anyways, but I don't think he is. I still think he could be a really good receiver in this league. But some teams he mentioned, and that he can maybe go to, like some quarterbacks he would like to play for. It's got Adam Schefter here. Some quarterbacks like he mentioned on the recent appearance on the I Am Athlete podcast that he was on, that DeAndre was on, and in the free receiver he listed the 5 quarterbacks he'd like to most catch passes from: the Bills, Josh Allen; the Eagles, Jalen Hurts; the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes; the Ravens, Lamar Jackson; and the Chargers, Justin Herbert. So out of that group, and he literally just picked the teams that kind of need a receiver. I really think he's going to go to the Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes is really going to want another weapon right there in Mr. Hopkins. And I think the quarterback he'd most like to play for is Kansas City. It makes sense they're the best quarterback in the league, a still talented receiver. I really think he's going to go to KC. And if he wants to win, he'll go to KC. Because you already have the coach, Andy Reid, Kelsey, Mahomes, Hopkins. That would be unstoppable and must-see TV. He doesn't really need a wide receiver one, but that would be really fun to watch. But Hopkins is now a free agent, and instead of being traded, he can sign anywhere he wants to go. The official announcement from the Cardinals that they released the wide receiver, and they put out a thank you tweet. So, more about the release, I'm going to read from Adam Schefter, and then I'm going to go to Ian Rappaport. As more about the release of DeAndre Hopkins, who will count $22.6 million against the Cardinals cap this season, but off their books for the 2024 season via ESPN's Josh Weinfuss. Wow, that's a lot to not have a guy on your team. I mean, even the Packers have $40 million dead cap next year to not have Rodgers. The Bucks have $30 million dead cap next year to not have Brady. And the cap at Philly took to move on from Wentz and give Hurts the keys to the Ferrari. But seriously, that's a lot of money you're paying somebody not be on your team. I feel like he's either going to go to Philly or Kansas City. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But the advantage will be next year, that cap will be off their books for the 2024 season. So that's a good thing right there, if you ask me, for the Arizona Cardinals. So we got some more on DeAndre Hopkins. So this is not a post-June 1 designation, so they take the entire dead cap hit this season. So they're going to take it on this year, get rid of it next year. So there had been some hope, per Ian Rappaport, that for some time, this had been the hope for some time. They had trade talks for months, and they heated up before the draft, possibly. Oh, look, he could get traded, but ultimately there was no deal. They couldn't even get mid, late round picks for him, and now he's a free agent. Just can't believe nobody traded late round picks for him. That's just crazy. And they've officially announced the release, which means teams don't need to wait to see his name or personnel notice. So teams can begin negotiating because they've announced the official release. So teams can now officially go out there and negotiate and try and get DeAndre Hopkins. And so it never felt like a possible outcome they could get released. It's just crazy he's getting released. But he's up there in age, 31 years old. Cap hit, you take it this year, but you get rid of it next year. So file to ESPN. The Patriots are losing 2 days of voluntary organized team activities due to a violation of off-season rules. Per league sources, that explains the team's announcement about Thursday's practice being called off, and another OTA next week has also been taken away. So they're losing 2 days of OTAs for a violation of off-season rules. I don't know what the rule violation was. We don't know what this rule violation could be. Maybe they had a non-mandatory special teams meeting, but it was posted on the internal schedule, which is normally reserved for mandatory meetings. It's kind of dumb. Maybe there was some contact. They had some contact in practice, which isn't allowed yet. I don't know. Don't know what rule was violated. But the NFL won't say what it was. But violating rules again? Yep, the Patriots are back, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, they lose a couple of OTAs. They've always been cheaters. Belichick cheating, what a surprise. But I'm curious to know what they violated here. The Bank of America Bank of America tells the judge, there was like a federal judge cast down in the Brian Davis black lawsuit or something. And the Bank of America informs the judge that the $5.1 billion in bank drafts presented for deposit by Brian Davis Company appears to be fictitious and are not what they purport to be. And it probably explains a few things. Probably explains like a few things, like maybe to the owners for Carolina. So maybe somebody could have a chance to buy the team. This is one of the bets that didn't get accepted. This guy's like a scam artist. Yeah, sorry that didn't make any sense. It was on Ian Rappaport's thing. So Falcons, Keith Smith is arrested on traffic charges. Man, he got a speeding ticket earlier this year. Informed Atlanta, paid it, and thought it was over. And per his agent, AJ Vaynerchuk, a miscommunication occurred, and his license was unknowingly suspended. Today he was pulled over for an expired registration, but wound up arrested for a suspended license. I think this is like a misdemeanor offense, and this happened. This happened to me, and this probably happens to a lot of people. This is not a big deal, though. I think you'll be fine. If you know anything about speeding tickets in Georgia, this is a common place, and it happens very easily. It happens probably daily. So it's probably gonna be like a misdemeanor charge, but it must have been a slow news day yesterday. But the communication is less than stellar on this shit. The Brock Purdy, Trey Lance has been taking the first team reps in OTAs, but Brock Purdy's expected to begin throwing next week, so we'll know probably shortly who will be the QB1 maybe going to this season to start for the San Francisco 49ers. Will it be Brock Purdy, who was a rookie sensation last season, as the last pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, or will Trey Lance get that opportunity? We'll just have to see. Now, let's the rest of the stuff here from Mr. Schefter. Let's get to it. So, before the Jaguars released kicker Riley Patterson, they agreed to trade him to the Detroit Lions for a late-round choice, and that was but the Lions have traded for him. He's 43-49 field goals, and 52-53 on extra points over the last 2 seasons, and he even hit that game-winning field goal against the Chargers in the playoffs. So he was traded before they released him. So they didn't release him. So 2 kickers have been traded in 1 offseason. Like, that's fucking crazy. But that's basically a fleece, because he was pretty good for the Jaguars. That's a massive L. The Lions got a really good kicker. I know they gave like a 700 draft pick, but it's like in 2026. After 9 seasons, veteran safety Tony Jefferson is announcing his retirement from the NFL. He isn't stepping away from the game as he plans to begin his scouting career this summer with the Baltimore Ravens, something he's always desired once done playing. So he's announcing his retirement from football, but he's going to be a part of the Ravens scouting team. So this is awesome. Glad he's staying in football. Congratulations to him. Had a great career. Played for the Giants, the Cardinals, the Ravens, obviously. So good to see he's still going to continue his career scouting. To make room for the new kicker, Brandon McManus, or the former Broncos kicker, signing a one-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was released Tuesday by the Broncos, but he's found work less than 48 hours later. But Jacksonville knows they have to win those tight games, so they brought in a good kicker. But McManus he really struggles beyond like 50, 45, 50, like 40, 50 yards. Like 37 to 43 yards was good. So they got Brandon McManus to basically trade Riley Patterson to the Lions. The Patriots have agreed to terms with free agent tight end Anthony Firkser, per source 6'2", 246-pound Firkser, who attended Harvard, will vie for a tight end 3 role in his career. He's averaged 115 catches, 1,207 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So I think it's a good signing for the Patriots. And he's a good blocking tight end. Well, he's not a blocking tight end. He's really a receiving threat. That's what they got him for. Raiders quarterback Jimmy G underwent foot surgery after signing with Vegas. So he signed with the Las Vegas Raiders, got that foot surgery, and he is on the field for OTAs, and the exact recovery timeline is unknown, though the sense from the team is he'll be ready for the season. So the team thinks he'll be ready for the season after having that foot surgery, but he's so he had foot surgery in March, and he still isn't cleared. Probably isn't cleared for contact or something. But he's just so injury prone. Like every year it's something with this dude. Like he's always injured. Like he just can't stay healthy. So Lamar Jackson was asked what the Ravens' new offense will allow him to showcase now that he signed that mega extension, and he answered less running and more throwing. I mean, people say, oh, look, less yardage and more picks. Look, sometimes he's not the best thrower, but he's not as bad as people will say. But I think he's lying. I mean, I think he'll keep running. I think he'll just play like his normal self. Now, the Steelers have agreed on a one-year deal with former Cardinals linebacker Marcus Golden, per source. I think it's a good depth signing right there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a great signing, can play on the ball and off ball linebacker, and he's really versatile. And he's a good depth signing, which is something they didn't have. So it's a good addition to the team. Got some more news. I think let me find it here. The Colts have signed former Giants tight end Caden Smith. I think it's a really underrated move. It's a really underrated move. He never got much of an opportunity. He's an underrated player, and I think he'll show out, though, over there. But the Colts have so many tight ends. Now, the Lions have signed their second first-round pick, Jack Campbell. They all signed up here in their deal, so that's not breaking news. But yeah, that's all. Save for this video. Until next time, Live. Peace.